Sonic? Hey, what are you doing, Chip? Chip, you were... wow.
I'll get its attention, Sonic. You do something about this shield. I think those big snake things are creating the shield, Sonic.
Looks like those snake things are its weak spot.
Oh my god, come on, man. I just can't do this. Gotta be kidding me. Of course, the first try I do off stream. No way, man. I think I was about to lose there too.
Be right there.
Okay, wow. My mash wasn't really quite working as well as I thought it would. But we got there.
I've got this one covered.
Anything more? Oh. Oh snap! We're just dashing in. Is this it? Oh my goodness. Of course, the very first attempt after I cut stream after being like fed up of this. I'm gonna have to splice this into the VOD on YouTube, but here's proof. I did it. And it was literally the first attempt after. You've gotta be kidding me, man. Sonic. The little crack here looks like a little evil smiley face. Oh man. Yeah, we did it!
Pleasant morning, wouldn't you say, Doctor?
I love the little robot. It's so great.
You can simply begin your plan anew. Even if all of your efforts this last time were utterly wasted, even if it was a complete and utter humiliating loss, even the most pathetic loser in all the world will surely have his chance to...
Ow. Hey, let's go, robot. Runs away. Off into the sunset, let's go. That was great. Alright, now what happens to Light Gaia, aka Chip, and Sonic, and friends? So we're back to, this is Shamar?
Ah, the light reigns over darkness, and the world is returned to peace. It's
Pirkle!
simply a miracle.
Amy?
We've been saved by a miracle.
I told you, didn't I? There was no way Sonic would let something like that happen.
And right you were. Still, we cannot live without the night. We all must sleep. We all must rest. Darkness is a part of our world, just the same as light. It may be that the darkness has not been destroyed, but merely laid to rest. It grows strong over the eons, rises up, then is put to slumber by the light. Perhaps that is the true balance of dark and light Gaia. That balance may be the very will of the planet itself.
Save the speech for later.
Yeah.
We've got to get things ready for Sonic's coming home party!
Wow. A lot of ending cutscenes here. It's interesting. I mean, I don't mind this. I think I like the cutscenes a lot in this game. I think it's one of the best parts of this game, honestly. Like, it's still got like the cheesiness of like other Sonic game cutscenes, but it's got more polish and oomph and like as if it's like a movie. Like, it really feels like a movie. Sonic.
You must live.
Oh no, Gaia, no, Chip. Chip? Don't leave us. No. Back to his what was it, 1,000+ year slumber or whatever he said in that other cutscene. Must bring Sonic back. You? He actually just eats him back to Earth. Whee! In a little Gaia bubble. Oh no, and he's burning. No. Yeah, Gaia remains at the Earth's core. Yet again, I guess. I'm assuming that's where they were lying before. To keep Dark Gaia at bay. I may be like completely misportraying the story as it was told, but anyway, you get the idea. Hey, back to Windmill Isle, or whatever this is called. Oof. Face first. Oh, this is kind of like a throwback to the beginning of the game. It makes sense. Except he fell from Eggman's ship as a werehog, now he got seeded back here as a regular Hedgehog.
How?
But no more Gaia. No, Chip. Oh wait, no. He's back? No, JK. But
I'll never
left the ring.
I'll be here by you, always. A part of the earth you tread.
Aww. You know what this ring gives me? Like it gives me like Klonoa vibes. It's like the same idea with the ring. And they go back to their world, we'll say, for like lack of spoilers and being vague and similar. Oh, I get the intro song again. Yeah, the the song coming back as a final boss song is pretty dope, I will say. Tails! Alright, once the credits roll, I'll share my thoughts on the game. There it is. Time 1540. Oh my goodness. Way overestimate for a lot of reasons, but it's all good. Beautiful ending. Alright, so, okay. Let's... Should I start with the pros before the cons? Or should I end on a good note? Should I get the bad stuff out of the way and then end on all the good stuff? Yeah, let's end with the good stuff. Okay, so bad stuff. Okay, no Knuckles, no Big the Cat and Froggy. Literally unplayable. No, but ignoring that, let's see. I think my biggest complaint was that entire last third of the game. And if you watch this for whatever reason, you saw how much I was like dreading almost like literally every stage at the end of the game there. Like everything from, what was it, Shamar Night 1 onwards. I don't think there was a single thing in there that I didn't struggle with except for like the Eggman boss. And I guess to an extent like Gaia Phase 1? Like, I don't know, I just... I don't think there was like a single stage I didn't struggle on from that point onwards. Like, especially Eggman Land. I mean, thank goodness I finished Eggman Land without getting a game over, because, oh my goodness, that stage was just like the longest thing ever. I think, in my opinion, I think they should just made an Act 1, Act 2 there. Split that into 2, and you have like, each level is like, you know, 1 or 2 Sonic sections, 1 or 2 Werehog sections, and then end it there, Act 1 done, Act 2, then you do the other stuff. And like, at least in my case here, it technically wouldn't have made a difference, because I didn't game over, but like, there's just no reason for a level to last that long. Like, every level up to this point has not taken more than like 20-ish minutes, I would say. And like, I get it that it was a final area, but like, don't make it longer than 30 minutes. Either you make a 30-minute level, or you split the level into 2 like 20-minute chunks or whatever. And like, yeah, I didn't play the best tonight, I will admit it. Like, I guess I could have played better, I could have done things better, I could have noticed things better. There's a lot of things I didn't do well tonight, for sure, but yeah, it's just the pacing of the game was just a little ambitious, I guess. And I get that, like, you know, this was kind of the point where games are starting to shift in the direction of like, okay, for this game to be worth it and to sell well, we need to put as much content as we can in the game. So we're gonna make sure that like this game is gonna take people 15 plus hours to beat. No matter what we have to do to make that happen, we need to make that happen. So whether that's adding more stages, adding really long stages, adding arbitrary medal requirements, which I really didn't like that either personally. I get what they were trying to go for there. It was kind of like the Mario approach where you have to get a certain amount of stars to gain access to the final boss. That's like kind of the vibe I was getting. Or, you know, like SM64 with the star doors. It was very much like star door kind of thing. But the difference is that in that game, in Mario 64, it felt like, so obviously you did need more than half the stars to beat the game, but it also felt like you didn't have to go out of your way to get like 75 to 80% of the things to progress, right? Because 70 out of 120 is nowhere that high. It's like, I don't know what the math is off the top of my head, but it's like 60%-ish, right? Obviously more than 50%, but not quite 66% or 70% or whatever. It's like 60-ish percent. And in this game, technically speaking, you needed 80 out of 200 moon medals and what was the other one? A 120 out of 200 sun medals. So you needed exactly half of the medals to beat the game, but because they required you to have 120 sun specifically and not 100 of each, it required so much more importance on getting as many sun medals as possible, and it forced me to redo levels unnecessarily multiple times to be sure that I max out every sun medal in like the night stages so that I can continue to play the game. And I had to spend 2 hours offline following guides to find all the missing sun medals I didn't get. So like it added like 2 hours to the game that I feel like did not ever have to happen. And like, to be fair, like the first stream I wasn't really aware of how important the medals were, so I was kind of rushing things a little bit, admittedly. But after that first stream, I went to go get medals, and then stream 2 onwards, I was like, I'm gonna be thorough and try to find these. And even trying to be thorough and finding medals and stuff like that, by the end of stream 2, I was still like 30 medals behind from what I needed, or something like that, or something crazy, like 28 or 30-ish, something like that, almost 30. So then I need to do another hour to farm up enough to feel confident enough that I would have enough to beat the rest of the game. So I got every single remaining sun medal in the like last 3 night stages that I was missing, which gave me an additional like a dozen. No, like if I was at 28, yeah, I think I basically got a dozen. I think I'm from 28 down to needing 16, right? And so then at the end of the game, the remaining sun medals I had of the necessary levels I had to do was 2 night levels, so 20, and then a boss 3. So I still have to get 16 out of those 23 sun medals to progress. And so it kind of like, so I was able to do it, of course. I was able to do it at the minimum amount of levels, because like, I don't know, the way I like to play games personally is I like to stick to, at least on a first playthrough, I just want to stick to what I need to do and maybe experiment with extra stuff if I feel like it. And I never really felt like I want to do the extra stuff in this. So the fact that it was like so tight going with the main levels is a little bit off-putting. Oh, the Pingus! Pingus. That's definitely one of the pros of this game. The Pingus are so cute. I almost forgot about these poor little guys. But yeah, so like, I guess to an extent, because of the way I like to play games initially on a first playthrough, that kind of maybe made the medal system a little worse, because there was obviously a ton of extra levels that I could have done to offset that. But that doesn't change my point in that it still forces you to play an additional 2 hours of gameplay that doesn't feel necessary, really. I think honestly just changing the medal requirements of up to 100 of each would have gone a long way. Like, that probably would have chopped off like at least an hour of unnecessary medal grinding. So if the medals were to stick around, that would be my suggestion, is probably I would have just changed that requirement a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, other than that, you know, the camera automatically turning at points was a little rough. It happens though. It's kind of hard to get cameras right in 3D platformers. Like, it is what it is. But yeah, that whole final stretch was just something else. The final boss, I don't know, all of a sudden things just clicked and I got it, of course, on the first try after I ended stream, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, onto the pros though. I will say again, oh, look at that, I never actually saw that little chow puppet. The cutscenes, phenomenal. I really like the cutscenes. again, like I said, it had the cheese of like the OG Sonic 3D game cutscenes, but it was just more polished, and it just felt like this felt like Sonic Movie 0 in a way, like before the, you know, Sonic Movie 1 and 2 and all that. I don't know. I was like actually kind of invested in the story. I was invested in Chip even in a way. I think Chip was like a pretty cool character. Like he was kind of like a Daxter-ish kind of character, like in Jak and Daxter, and he wasn't like really annoying. I think he was kind of adorable and helpful, and obviously, I mean, he's freaking Gaia, right? Freaking like Gaia. His whole like naming him Chip because he didn't know his name because it's based off of chocolate chip, and him offering chocolate to everybody and wanting the ice cream and everything. I thought that was all really, really cool. I don't know, I like that a lot. Eggman, of course, always had a lot of personality. The robot, I loved Eggman's robot friend, his companion there. That guy was very expressive and funny. I really like that guy too. So yeah, cutscenes top notch. Music, like it's really hard to get Sonic music wrong. The Sonic music is just so great, and like hot take, as much as I love Mario and grew up with Mario more than I have Sonic, because I'm only kind of just playing Sonic games more recently. Sonic soundtracks are just like in general, just like the whole soundtrack as a whole just feels more, there's more to it. I don't know, it's got more oomph, a bit more, I wouldn't say like it's got more quality to it, it's just like you got a bit more variety, I would say. And Mario kind of is, the Mario music is all just really good, but it's like it's kind of safe, and it's kind of got its identity, whereas Sonic kind of branches off into like all kinds of things, right? You had the Egyptian banger in Shamar, you have, I mean, obviously not in this game, but like you have like the Knuckles rap in the Sonic Adventure games, and like you got the punk with lyrics and all that. Like you don't hear that often in Mario games. I mean, you have the lyrics in the Odyssey song, of course, Jump Up Superstar and all that, but I don't know, it's just it's got a bit more, I don't know about personality, but it's got more power to it. I don't know, it's got a bit more value. I feel like the bangers, they hit more, they hit different in Sonic. But as a huge Mario fan, I absolutely adore Mario and their soundtracks. I feel like they almost never get it wrong as well. But yeah, Sonic is really, really good in the music department, I would say. Yeah, music was overall phenomenal in this game, and also like pretty nice variety of a lot of things. Bowling for Soup singing the intro song, also a pretty nice surprise. I thought the hub worlds and talking with all the people there, I thought that was kind of a neat touch. I kind of like that. There was a lot of funny moments that came out of that too, honestly. And also just like piecing together like, oh, this is America, this is China, this is Greece, etc. I think it was kind of cool that they kind of tied it into like actual real life Earth places. I thought that was really cool. I love the day levels more than the night levels. I thought the night levels, I think overstayed their welcome a little bit and tried to be too ambitious, but at the same time, like, that's kind of the whole point of the game, so like I don't fault them for going that route and going so hard on the Werehog level. Like, there was a equal amount of levels on both sides, but the problem was because of Werehog's levels being slower paced in general and taking longer to do because of all the brawling you have to do with him, it made it feel like the game was 2/3 Werehog and 1/3 like super fast Sonic that you typically like to see in these 3D Sonic games. So I think I would have liked either the levels to be shorter or there to be a 2-to-1 ratio where you'd have more day levels than night levels. And to my understanding, there are, I think, like 3 acts. So I think in a way, if you look past the main story levels that you have to do, I think that is almost kind of what's going on. I'm not 100% sure about that. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, like it just feels, it feels like they needed a bit more like Day Sonic, but like that's me being like biased towards preferring the Day Sonic in a game that's, you know, introducing Werehog and wanting to push Werehog, so it's like not a super fair critique of it, but yeah. I will say though, Werehog, like I liked Werehog's platforming actually. I kind of like that more than the brawling, but that's kind of just me being biased towards platformers than I guess like brawlers, beat 'em ups, action fighting or whatever. But like his noodle arms were so silly, but kind of cool though, like the swinging around and all that, like, even his dash where he's like on all fours, like, obviously nowhere near as fast as regular Sonic, but like, it's nice that that was there. The puzzles that you have to do with pushing stuff around, also kind of cool. And like the brawling parts were like, I don't think they were bad necessarily, it's just, I think I didn't really like capitalize on the true power of it. I think like getting more combat moves was probably like the thing I was missing there the most. Like I was putting everything into strength, just hoping that like the moves that I'm used to would just get the job done, and for the most part they did. I mean, I didn't really have to learn many more moves, but I feel like that maybe would have helped me out a little bit more had I expanded more on the combat stat. But yeah, I don't know. Again, like I think this game was, I think given all those things I just said, like average, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't call it bad. I wouldn't call it great. Good. I'd maybe even go as far as saying it was good. I mean, I had a pretty good time for the most part, let's say. So I'd say, I guess, a bit better than average. It's good for sure. Like if I had to give it like a X out of 10 rating, like I guess I'd give it a 7, maybe a 7.5. Like I don't know. It definitely wasn't bad, that's for sure. But yeah. It had its weird moments and it had its great moments, and I think the great moments were slightly higher than the bad moments. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that was Sonic Unleashed. Really cool. I finished this literally minutes before Sonic Frontiers comes out, so I'm super excited to play Sonic Frontiers. I will not be streaming that. I will not be recording that. But to anyone playing Sonic Frontiers, I hope you all enjoy it. You all have a wonderful week enjoying it, as well as whatever other games come out this month, you know, between God of War and Pokemon coming out later. I'm going to be playing the crap out of both Sonic and Pokemon myself, so, yeah. Anyways, thank you all for watching. The next game after this, we'll be finishing up Faith, the Unholy Trinity, as well as potentially also Frog Detective 3, which I'm super excited for as a huge fan of frogs and Frog Detective games in general. So stay tuned for all that, everybody. Alright, thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Bye!